Hey, this is Nick Trayton. I've got part two of Julie Rowe's near-death experience.
Martial law. I was shown that the United States government became so wicked that the citizens of the United States were subjected to martial law. The UN brought in peacekeeping troops, under the guise that the foreigners were there to help and provide food, clothing, jobs, and shelter. Their real intent was to divide up and conquer the United States and to gain access and control of the food, water, and other resources that the American people and many other nations depended on for survival. These foreign troops, along with members of the U.S. government who had aligned themselves with the global elites, had no mercy. They stopped at nothing to accomplish their designs. They spread lies to the people of all nations and did whatever they deemed necessary to divide and conquer. This included tearing families apart. They separated women and children from the men and from each other, and went to great extremes to lie and manipulate situations in an effort to gain this control. They used every fear tactic imaginable to accomplish their goals, including setting up concentration camps within the United States, similar to those used in Europe during the World War II era. They promised to take care of people, knowing individuals and families were desperate for food, water, safety, and shelter. These were empty promises, however, and people soon discovered that they had been lied to once they were under the government's control. Microchip implants. In a similar manner, I was shown that many people were greatly deceived and willingly followed orders, feeling they had no other choice. Those in control of the people required a microchip to be implanted in the hands or foreheads of those who sought food, water, clothing, or shelter. Some rebelled against those in force. This led to revolution within the United States, as people began to see the truth and recognize the need to fight for the Constitution and for their freedom. Utilities were limited, and in many cases, completely cut off. Total power blackouts were commonplace. Food and water were contaminated due to natural disasters as well as man-made diseases. Conspiring men sought to control the population through means of this food and water contamination and other methods. Gas prices, food prices, water prices, and other commodities increased exponentially, to the point that average Americans were unable to afford the luxuries they had become accustomed to. The standard of living went down so significantly that poverty abounded. Many starved. Many schools closed. Government enticements continued to increase, with the promise of safety, security, and prosperity. Conspiring men sought to control not only the hearts and minds of the children, but all of humanity. Their goal was to limit the freedoms of the people and one day ultimately control society, which was always Satan's plan of action. Eventually, there was war in every nation. As time went on, the huge international world war turned into national wars and then into smaller civil wars as resources diminished and people rebelled against those who sought to control and dominate over them. Bomb threats. I saw that there were many bomb threats occurring at this time. Powerful bombs were actually set off in various cities. U.S. helicopters and military planes were seen flying all over the country, but especially above the western United States.
Hey, this is Nick. I want to thank you for watching, and I'd like to clarify a couple of things. This NDE took place in 2004, and it would take some time for these things to transpire. It's been about 12 years. I'm sure that these things wouldn't happen in 2 weeks. But leave your comments at the bottom and let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.